Tisas 45 and 10 millimeter. Which one doesn't look like the other? We'll find out. So just want to talk about these Tisases. I have 3 of them now. They all needed some work, some way more than others. First up, considering I'm facing down range, the weapons are clear, but I left them in cocked and locked just for the internet commandos. So we have a Tisas. This is the B45, I think, R with the rail. This is 4 1/4 Commander. Did some things, extended magwell, clonimus on the grips and magwell, and I believe on the back strap, and skate tape on the front. Milled the rear sight just to give it a little bit of a hook area, be able to tack rack and all that stuff. Overall, very good. EGW on the firing, on the extractor and the slide lock, and a couple other little things that I went through, and the firing pin stop as well. This is going to be the Tisas. This is the carry, and this is the duty, which is the full size, 5-inch. Same thing with extractor, slide lock, and the firing pin stop. Just made it run a whole lot better. Did have some issues with these and the magazine interfering with the slide lock area. And both of these, the 5-inch and the 4 1/4, the feed ramp was at the wrong angle, so I ended up remilling those. Now, I'm happy to say they run perfectly, 100%. They run great. They run like 930 feet per second, 230 grains if I want. I can run them pretty hot. Have a little bit of wear in here on the U-notch. Just a little bit of deformation as they kind of marry together, but other than that, been really good. These are hammer forged frames, slides, barrels on all 3. Now we get to the 10 mil. So these ones are about $450. This one was $800. So this one you get a little bit more though. So this is going to be a 10 mil, 5-inch. You're still going to have the barrel bushing on the front. So you're going to get the ambies just like them, but you're going to get LPA adjustable sights, which is very, very nice. So they give you the traditional target style sights, and they are click adjustable, which is nice. You already get these grips installed. I guess they're like a clonimus, like a knockoff of a VZ, but they work very well. They're all G10. You're going to get front serrations, which these do not have. They were smooth. Now, all 3 of these, you are going to get the undercut on the trigger guard, which I don't want to go back to a normal one. This one does have the undercut, but because they checkered this and they left this as a smooth line, it doesn't bump up quite as much right here where it bumps up. They just kind of took that as the checkering line. But these are very nice. They're not crazy aggressive, but they're nice, and it did come with this already installed. So this does not have a magwell on it. I have one coming. I get the clonimus ones. They're steel. They work very well. And they have them in stainless or the blued. So this has been very, very good. This has been a journey for me. Something that I wanted that was different. I always wanted a 10 millimeter, especially in the last year. So these aren't really, they just got on the market, so you won't really see reviews on them at all. So the only issue I had with this is inside your slide, on the bottom part of the slide, there's a bevel that comes up when the slide goes forward and it goes over the round. Well, the problem is it was digging in because they put the bevel at a wrong angle. Not really a big problem. You just kind of go in with a stone where the angle is, and on that bottom edge where it's real sharp, you just kind of round that edge over. So instead of digging into the piece of brass, it just slides over it. So you kind of do that until you don't have a mark anymore. Let me grab a piece of 10 mil. So let me see here. So right now I get like I get that. I'm down to about that, which is whatever, I'll work with that. So these had a lot more issues, but they're $450. This only had that one issue, and this was $800. So it feels like a nicer gun. They have stainless lower. There's a couple little, things that were already done that I didn't have to do to it. And it does have a really cool X on the side. And instead of having the markings on the side here, they actually moved it down to the bottom, which is cool. And then they put the traditional information here for the import. That's a little bit different. So, firing 10 mil versus 45. Obviously, this one's going to be smooth. Even with your hotter loads, you're going to have a nice kind of push up, pop. And then with your Commander, these are kind of fun because they kind of pop a little bit quicker, but they don't pop up as far. So it's just like a faster hit. And with these ones, when you're shooting steel, it'll pop, ting, and then you can kind of watch them go down. With 10 millimeter, it's a little bit different. And one of my good buddies, he told me that a 10 millimeter 1911 is pretty much like a semi-automatic revolver. And you have to shoot it like that. And I agree. You can't just pick up a 10 and clack off the safety and just boom, 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 and ting, 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 ting. That's not going to happen. You're going to go pow, pow, pow. Where am I? You're going to get lost because on a 10, it doesn't just pop up and come down, pop up and come down. It doesn't do that like a 45. The 10 goes pow, and then you're like, oh, shit, I got to come back down. Pow, pow. So you're not going to be able to just Jerry Micklick through your targets. So if you buy a 10, don't expect to do that, especially not right away. So with a 10, it's kind of like you pick a target, pow, ping. And with a 10, when you shoot your target, as soon as you pull the trigger, poof, target's down. Because you're moving at 1,200 feet per second. Even the factory loads I ran, cellar and below down there, they're 1160 consistent. So by the time you get off that trigger and it's down, it's already down. It's been down and it hits pretty hard. And they're starting to indent the AR-500 seal just a little bit. So I don't want to shoot them too much because I don't want to wear them out. But it is nice to shoot steel and it goes down fast. So would I recommend them? Yes, but not to a newbie. I would recommend these completely to a machinist guy or a gunsmith guy or a guy who wants to get into a nice 1911 with quality forged parts and can work on them themselves. These are kind of like 95%ers for me. So buy one, but you might have to finesse this a little bit. I got really mad when this didn't work right, and I'm really glad it was just one little angle. Everything else seems fine with it. The safeties are real nice. Especially when new, they click real bad. Sorry about the cut. I cut myself on my lever action hammer. That was fun. This one, it's been here for a while. It's a little bit, maybe a little bit of a wiggle, but they're not bad. They're 2 pieces, so if they do get loose, you can push them in. Now on these, I did actually bevel this side because when they come, they are like sharp. And I'm a lefty, and that kind of cuts into right there in my thumb where it hits. So that's one little thing you might want to massage, but they're great like kit build guns. Like you buy them, you mess them a little bit, and then they run really good. And then people shoot them like, oh man, what is that? Is that a Kimber or what is that? And you're like, nah, it's just a turkey gun, but it's cool. So I'd highly recommend them, especially if you like to do your own work and you like to tinker. So there's my little review of them. I'm not going to shoot them because they're 1911s. Everyone knows how they shoot, but this guy is like a whole nother animal and it's really neat. So there you go, 180 grain versus a 230 grain for 10 mil and 45. Pretty cool. Go check them out, guys.